Okay, let's build some dimension, just blending out this shadow. All right, strong brows today. I want them defined and strong today. And just a little touch for the ears. Perfect. Okay, looking good. Base is smooth. Now for the star of the show. Precision is everything with a bold red. Cupid's bow. Loving this color. A final check, and yes, loving the intensified look. It's time to conquer the day.
So that was a 25-second 540p LTX 2.3 video upscaled to 1080p using RTX Super Resolution. In this video, I'm breaking down first and last frame guided video generation using LTX 2.3. The settings for this workflow are optimized for 8 gigs of VRAM and 32 gigs of system RAM. As you saw in the video, LTX 2.3's prompt understanding and adherence are much better than the previous version. It's still not perfect, but the Lightricks team is really doubling down, and their push to keep these models open source is nothing short of admirable. Check out the prompt adherence and the strengths and weaknesses of these generations as well.
The fire of knowledge is about to be unleashed. Don't miss the transformation. Hit subscribe and join the guild!
Now, before we dive in, go to your ComfyUI directory and open the update folder. If you're using the stable version, update using this file. But if you're on the nightly version like me, use this one. Right here, you'll find the download links for all the models. I've included links for both the Q5K GGUF version and the FP8 version. You don't need both of these. The quality is basically identical. The main difference is that the FP8 version is significantly faster, especially on Ada Lovelace and Blackwell GPUs, and it seems to work fine even with older hardware. You can see Kijai has been really busy. He just uploaded the FP8 input scaled version 3 yesterday, which is 25 gigs. The advantage of using GGUFs is that they're significantly smaller. They can generate longer clips, and they don't stress your system nearly as much, so it's really up to you which one you want to download. Also, make sure to put the audio VAE in your checkpoints folder. All the paths are listed right above each link, and all these folders are located inside the models directory in ComfyUI. This is where you select your models. Make sure to click the drop-down and select each one manually. If you're using the GGUF versions, connect your GGUF loader to the Anything Anywhere node here. If you're using the FP8 version, connect the Diffusion Model Loader instead. This node will then automatically link your model to the CFG Guider node. If you want to see the actual connections, just right-click an empty space in your ComfyUI window and select Show UE Links. If you're running a Blackwell or Ada Lovelace GPU, you can speed up your generations by selecting the FP8 E4M3 FN option. However, some users with Turing GPUs have reported errors when enabling this, so definitely keep that in mind. If you have more than 8 gigs of VRAM, you can try using the FP8 E4M3 FN Fast option. On top of that, you can enable Sage Attention to boost your speed, but only do that if you've installed it properly. Here is where you upload your first frame, and just below that, you have the option for your last frame. These are the nodes where you set your resolution, length, and frame rate. If you're trying to generate 720p clips longer than 10 seconds with 8 gigs of VRAM, definitely use the GGUF version, or you'll run into out-of-memory errors. The sampler is Euler ancestral, and the CFG is set to 1 since we're using a distilled version. I've set the tile size to 384 here, but you can drop it down to 256 if you're still getting out-of-memory errors in this node. If your video doesn't show up, try changing this setting to something like H264. If that doesn't work, check to see if the preview is hidden or muted. This upscaling workflow is also attached in the video description and the pinned comment along with the LTX workflow. The RTX Super Resolution upscaler is usually instantaneous. I wouldn't recommend upscaling to 4K if you only have 8 gigs of VRAM. Make sure the frame rate here matches your original video. you have two options to choose from here. The first is Scale by Multiplier. The maximum scale you can select is 4, which means it upscales your video to 4 times the original resolution. Now, if you want to set a fixed resolution, like I did for the generations in this video, you can select the Target Dimensions option here. Once selected, you can set a fixed resolution just below that. Again, I don't recommend going above 1080p for video content. Now, check out the live generation.